My name is Songcharoen from Bangkok University International in Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm represent a group of research from a few universities in Thailand, from Pathum Thong, Trailat, Wasan Sangkap, and Dean Landushi from Stanford and Rajamongkol University. Today we like to talk about the learning outcome from the Thai culture on the Thai culture to virtual museum. Since the technology, virtual reality technology is emerged, right? They have a few websites that give us the chance of the museum experience. So on this investigation, we like to talk about the virtual museum that allow access to Thai culture that can be partly extend the idea of the present different aspect of Thai identity, and also the benefit to the user of the culture knowledge and understanding. The media uses normally, in general, we investigate in the media that can be used in the virtual museum, which is in this case is touring, go through the time duration, the internet. And the second investigation is certification, the usage, design, and content knowledge. And the last one is knowledge acquisition, what the user can gain from the virtual museum. So the investigation, we use the Thai National Museum as the case. And then we compare the learning outcome of the Thai culture to the virtual museum, virtual tour, and the museum that available on the internet. And we use the university student correct the data from 10 university faculties. The method. Step 1, we investing on the comparing the virtual museum available on the Thai on the internet, and then the organizing the virtual tour that enable easy to access to the convenience of the viewing, and lastly, allocating the link of the assessment of the questionnaire. Okay. So normally, when the participant or the questionnaire is talking about the data or the correction contain 5 parts. Part 1, the responding opinion on the media for the culture learning to the virtual museum tour. And the second part is the respondent expected knowledge on the culture from the virtual museum. Part 3, respondent knowledge on the culture, and part 4, respondent on the suggestion on the author comments. And part 5 is data analysis. The statistic analysis of the data employed percentage and frequency mode, mean and standard deviation. Okay. So I'm just skip to the result. The response result is 88% that have the plan, while only 12 respond have no plan before the trip. So they use this virtual museum as a guide or as a plan to prepare before they visiting the museum. And also the user interface. One is very interesting part. You will see a lot of virtual museum, that's famous virtual museum in the world, or famous website of the museum, like Louvre or British Museum, right? So it's integrating the information website. But for Thai perception, they're just looking for something that more than the information website beside movie or beside image. So they're looking for some kind of like 360-degree panorama or 360 interactive, something like it. So you can interact with the immersive environment, something like that. So the perception of the virtual museum is quite different. This is the statistic that we have from the average and the standard deviation. On the first one is the virtual tour is convenient and fast to the use. And the second one, the outcome is high. The second one, the virtual tour is easy to use. The percentage is 3.76 and deviation is lower and the result is high. And the main menu is the easy to understand and convenient to use is 3.6 for the percentage and the average, and the standard deviation is 4.3, interpretation high. And the last one, the virtual tour is interesting and will be revisit next time, 3.71. And the standard deviation is 0.54 high. Okay. So from the opinion of the student from 10 university faculty, so the average, right? We have mixed between the high and moderate. The overall 3.53, standard deviation 0.44 with interpretation high. So we're talking about the attractiveness, the easy to understand, the font size, the typeface, the color of the font image, and the way that using the color on the virtual tour, using of the color on the carelessness, and the consistency of the position, the size of the icon. Okay. I think we still have time. I think I'm going to use about 10 minutes. At the end, I'm going to show you the virtual tour that we use for tests on that. Okay. So, and as the result, okay, let's take a look. In the study, students report insufficient educational content on the cultural tourism attraction to satisfy their demand. So, in this particular case, right, they demand something very particular, and maybe the generation gap between the user who want to go to the real museum and the user who want to visit the virtual museum is totally different. So on the way that we utilize the research in the future, we might want to investigate in particular for the generation like native digital or generation C. Or the could have come up with a new suitable model for designs, and the result indicates more sufficient content have to be prepared more, right? So the aspect of the content design and visual storytelling technique that could be integrated into the virtual museum. Okay, let me use my last minute to show you the virtual museum. As I said from the result, right? Normally, if you look at Louvre or look at British Museum, you will see it's evolved from the normal website, which is give more information. But from our from our investigation for the outcome from the student opinion, they're just looking for something like immersive or something like augmented or enhance their experience beyond normal website. So in this particular one, this is the virtual exhibition in honor of His Majesty King Rama IX. So this is what I'm talking about. So you will be allowed to explore in the 3D environment, which is you will be able to control interactively of individual user. Yet you will be able to look for a media in particular, like you want to look for some kind of information. You can click on the side of icon, and it's popping up the movie or some kind of story. And then you will see the floor plan on the top, right, which is synchronized to the field of view when you look at the yellow area, right? So it's pointing to the next step. You can also interact with the environment by clicking on the hotspot, or you can also click right on the floor plan. And also in here you will see we have a video mapping, which is showing the video attached to the 3D environment. And then when the camera moving away or user moving away, the sound is just fade away. It's just like in real situation. And in this particular case, we employ a very high resolution. And you can see the text, a small tiny text. You still be able to read it. But the internet right now, that's what we're using, right? We're using a Wi-Fi hotspot over there. So this is display like the compression and recompression. So the internet speed, is still jerking, but it's not that a big problem anymore. So I just show you a next room. So in this particular room, right, you can interact with the display. It's just like you are in the real museum. So you just click on that. So you will see, something happen in that particular area.
ในพุทธศักราช
2489
ในช่วง2 ทศวรรษแรก
video
ได้
mapping.
เสด็จพระราชดำเนินไปทรงเยี่ยมราษฎรทั่วทุกภูมิภาค
So this kind of idea, the audience more feel like a virtual museum in our audience, in our study, not like a regular website, right? I think my time is just about it, right? Okay, 13 minutes.